welcome everyone. For our binge watchers who are watching our raw and uncut versions, you're going to really love this episode because there's a couple really hilarious jokes that you'll want to practice and tell your friends. But then Sean lays it all out about the 5 people that you absolutely need in your tribe if you're going to kill it in life. So we're going to get started right now.
All right, I really am. I'm struggling with, like, my brain is marshmallow mush right now. Like, you know, the marshmallow fluff in the jar.
Oh my God, we used to eat that on Ruffles potato chips, the wavy ones.
Marshmallow fluff on Ruffles?
I was 12.
Well, I can see you get the sweet and the salty and the savory, you know, the umami there. Sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no parental supervision for this snack. Speaking of parental supervision, Sophia, badass, right?
Oh, let me tell you, it's just hard. Parenting is hard. So Sophia at volleyball camp, you know, I hope she never watches this one. She's not particularly coordinated. She likes to play volleyball, and that's great, and she wants to improve. She's not particularly coordinated, and she doesn't have that, like, necessarily beastly eye of the tiger drive sportiness all the time. Sometimes she does, but not all the time. And so, I don't necessarily think her evaluation was the best. Maybe she has a little performance anxiety or whatever. So she got put down in a lower group in volleyball with younger girls, and it was humiliating for her.
Oh.
Because the girl that had played on our team, you know, 2 years ago was in the upper group. And and also she was, like, not learning. I said, what'd you do? She's like, well, we played tag. And then we did this other thing, like, wait, what? 4 days a week for 3 hours volleyball camp at no minimal expense. I'm not going to send you there to play tag. That's stupid. She goes, I'm not learning anything, Mom. So I said, what are you going to do about it? I said, do you want me to do something about it? And she said yes, and then no, she waffled, and yes and no, and I said, and I thought I didn't feel right about doing something about it.
Yeah.
And so we talked in the car on the way there, and she finally said, she said she was going to talk to the coach. I said, okay. So we talked a little about what she was going to say. So fortunately, the coach was standing right there when we checked in, and she just said, hey, coach, I don't think I really need to be in this younger group. She said, I don't feel like I'm being challenged, and I'm really here to learn. And the coach is like, okay, that takes balls. I mean, she didn't say that exactly, but that's.
Yeah.
And so she said, get up there. And so she put her in the higher group. And so it was good. And then the coach high-fived me. She's like, good job, Mom. Thanks for making her do it on her own. I was like, okay, thank you.
Oh, it's got to be just gut-wrenching. Gut-wrenching.
It is. It is.
But you're raising a fellow Mamba Jamba, so these are the things that we need to do young.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I mostly want for her to be able to stand up for herself and take care of herself and go for what she wants. And
well, you fended for yourself when you were a kid, didn't you?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where my mom was. I mean, mom was not coming to any rescue over here.
No, I was a little spitfire too. One time the neighbors, so we moved into a house and the neighbor, it had been empty for a couple months, and the neighbor had let their dog go poo-poo crap all over our yard. So when we moved in, my mom addressed it with the neighbor, and my mom was single, so I was like 14, and it's just me, my mom, my sister, and she addressed it with the neighbors, like, look, I've seen your dog, he's pooping in our yard. He said, how do you know it's my dog? She said, well, I'm pretty sure that when he pooped in my yard, he walked over to your yard. I mean, I know that's your dog. Just kind of a butthole about it. So I was mowing the lawn one day, and I ran over this dog poop. I was so mad. I was kind of like fresh.
At least you didn't run over. I thought you were going to say you ran over the dog. I was like, oh man.
Well, the dog was he was not a great dog in my eyes anyway. It was kind of a butthole, but it's nothing against the dog. His parents let him do it, right? So I went and got a garden trowel, and I scooped up the poop, and I went and I rang the doorbell, and they opened the door, and I put it on the door stoop, and I said, this belongs to you. Please don't let it happen again. I'm 14 years old.
Wow. Okay, well, so if you weren't that kind of badass Mama Jumbo when you were 14, maybe you don't belong in sales. We're just saying.
Well, I think it's something you can learn, and you can, that's why having a tribe of people around you, maybe that'd be a good topic for today, is talk about your tribe. I have 5 people that you need in your tribe.
Ooh, I love that topic. And I think it's time, Sean. I think it's time for another Surprise Your Guest.
You do? Okay.
I do, because I have this question that I've been hearing a lot about, and I don't know the answers to. I'm really interested in, I'm speculating on some answers, but I would love to do a Surprise Your Guest, which of course we're not going to announce who it is so that we can give that person some, leeway to say no if they want to without being harassed by our binge watchers. I just need to make sure that I have her contact information since. Okay, so we'll do 5 people in your tribe. Let me just check if I've got her. Hang on.
Well, I think, why don't we call her and see if that works out, because we can always back up and do the opening afterwards.
Oh, rats. I don't have it. I bet you do, though.
Okay. Who is it?
Her last name sounds like Chidi, and it starts with an H.
Yeah.
My phone got wiped somehow, or some of my contacts got wiped somehow. Do you have it?
Yeah, I think so. Let me see.
I have a question I need to ask of an inside sales expert.
It's in her email. It's in her email address. I've got her. I've got it. You want to call her?
Yeah. Do you want to start with that one?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, that'll give her a minute to, throw some lipstick on or something, and then we can discuss what. She doesn't wear lipstick.
Lynn has no F's to give about, that kind of thing.
I know, and she always looks so good. So I thought she'd be a perfect Surprise Your Guest.
All right, I'm calling her now. She may be doing her business.
Well, hopefully she
that sounds bad.
What? I need her help.
I just got her voicemail. Crap.
Oh.
All right.
Is it her mobile? Can we text her?
It went straight to voicemail, so I suspect it is because she's working.
Tell her we're sending up the bat signal.
Okay. Let's see.
So I guess Surprise Your Guest doesn't always work.
All right. Hey, Lynn. I said her name.
Oh no, we outed you. Okay, now we have to tell a joke. Oh God, I had a good joke. What was my joke? Okay, so there's a woman driving a car, and a police officer pulls her over because she's speeding, right? And she's like, "Officer, what's the problem?" And he says, "Did you know that you were speeding?" And she said, "Well, I don't think I was speeding." And he said, "Let me see your license." And she says, "Well, I don't have my license." And he said, "Well, why don't you have your license with you?" And she said, "Well, I actually don't have my license. I lost it because I had 4 DUIs. And he's like, "Oh my God." So he's like, "Ma'am, can I see the registration, please, for your car?" And she says, "Well, actually, this isn't my car. I don't have the registration. I stole it. And actually the guy that I stole it from is in the trunk." And the police officer starts slowly backing away, radioing, "Oh my God, we need some help. I need some backup here." So a few minutes later, all these officers swoop in, and the police chief gets out of his car, and he walks over, and he's kind of getting the scoop from the officer, and he goes over to the woman and he says, "Excuse me, ma'am, could you please step out of your car?" And she says, "Well, what's the problem?" And he says, "Well, my officer here tells me that you are driving without your driver's license because you've lost it." And she says, "What are you talking about?" She pulled her driver's license out, hands it in perfectly good order. And he says, "Well, he also said that this car is not yours and that it's a stolen car." And she says, "Are you kidding?" She's like, here's my registration. The registration matches the driver's license. Everything's in order." And he's like, "Ma'am, we need you to open up the trunk." So she's like, "Okay, I really don't get any of this. What's going on?" And he says, "Just open up the trunk, please, to your car." So she opens up the trunk. Nothing there. It's in perfect immaculate order. And he says, "I don't understand what's going on. My officer told me that you didn't have a driver's license, that you stole this car. It wasn't your car. You don't have the registration. And there was a person in the back of your trunk." And she goes, "Really?" She goes, "I bet you told him. I bet he told you I was speeding too." All right, so that's the joke I've been practicing for months.
I love it. I love it.
All right. So are we going to abandon the Lynn Heidi thing here?
I think so. Well, I sent her a text, and so, she's
All right.
probably,
Well, we'll see.
probably dialing right now or calling her peeps and doing her stuff that she does. So
yeah, she's working it like a good job. All right. So let's do yours. Let's talk about who are the 5 people that you need in your tribe.
Well, I wrote something about this a while back, and it's for entrepreneurs, but it's really just for anybody. I mean, life is not easy. We just talked about like this agonizing parent moment that I had yesterday. Do I intervene? Do I not? Do I want my girl to do what she's got to do? And I mean, it's just, life is not easy. And so you need, but I found 5 types of people that I need in my tribe and that have been really beneficial to having a tribe. And this has actually been one of the most shared, most commented blog posts I've ever written. So
cool. Well, so who are the 5 people that you need in your tribe?
Well, do you want to kick this off and or do that at the edge?
Well, yeah, I'm just like ready to go. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm all for mustard because Lynn's not picking up my call. Anyway, your call. She would have picked up my call. I'm just saying. All right, so anyway, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Welcome everyone to the SellOut Show, where we are always sold out. I am Diana Guerin, and I am the irreverent sales girl, where my mission is to bring a dash of dignity to the art of selling.
Hi, Diana. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sean Carroll Sandy, Chief Revenue Officer of the Selling Agency, where we coach humans how to sell to other humans. Because selling like a NASCAR race car driver, you just leave your customers behind.
Have you ever been to one of those races?
Girl, I've been around the track in a NASCAR with a NASCAR driver. I've not told you this story. So, oh my God. Everything leads to story. So, at Office Max, we reported into Dallas for a couple of years. And so they would bring everyone together for the annual kickoff meeting. It's so funny because this is the year they introduced the Challenger sale for about 3 hot minutes and never heard of it again, right? So, hot minutes. Do you have this where you are? Like when people say it's a Southern thing, like
it's a total Southern thing. But I have some Dallas and San Antonio roots, so I've heard it. That and for crying out loud, I don't know. I don't know where that came from.
So we had our kickoff for 3 days at Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah.
And Boise, Idaho, which is the parent company of Office Max, they were kind enough to pay for us to go around the track in a pace car, which is when the new Camaros came out, and they were beautiful. So you got to get in the car and the driver would take you around the track. And it's really interesting what they do is they go and check for any pebbles or imperfections and all that kind of stuff. Took you around the track and you got to see, got to bank, the 18-degree bank. And I'm not a NASCAR fan, but this was extraordinary. And then for additional fee, you could sign up to go around the track for 4 laps in a NASCAR with a professional NASCAR driver.
Wow.
So, sign me up, people. And then what was really interesting is that this is a whole other thing, but like my counterpart, whom I've spoken about before, cheapest man on the planet. He really was just working to get by. He had 4 kids and he just wanted to do the bare minimum. So because he was going to pay for it out of his own pocket, he didn't sign up to go around the track with a professional driver. Well, then Boise picked up the check for all of that for everyone who had signed up. Sorry, dude. He lost out. But anyway, so you put on the flame retardant suit, you put on the helmet, you climb in through the window, your driver climbs in, and then they hand them the steering wheel.
What?
Yeah, the steering wheel is not attached.
You're like, do we like put our feet through the floor? And
yeah, and it's like a big tin can, and I had on heels. And so it was just the greatest experience. So you're going 146 miles an hour, and my feet are just vibrating on the bottom of this tin can, and they go numb. And all I can do is laugh hysterically with tears just going across my face. It was the best experience. If you ever get the opportunity to go and get in a car with a NASCAR driver, screw it. Just do it. It's a slice of life that you will always remember and be glad that you did.
Oh, it sounds amazing. And then did he pop it off and hand you the steering wheel?
No, no, but there were 4 cars in the track, and like we did some drafting and
oh my God, you got to experience drafting?
Yeah, it was pretty phenomenal. Is
that crazy? Phenomenal. Oh my God.
That is something I will always remember. It was great.
That is so cool. Well, yeah, I mean, I've been to Indy 500 and, you watch the shows, you watch them on TV and it looks like you can see the car. You cannot see the car. It's like, I think I'm rooting for the blue streak, it's like, what am I doing here? It's so much fun though. But anyway, all right.
Okay. So, so today's show, other than talking about get your ass in a NASCAR.
It's all about speeding. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's right. It's all about speeding. Doesn't it? And girl, I do have a lead foot. And when I change lanes, like I'm in an air jet, like I'm in a jet. Makes my mom really nervous to drive with me.
You should have been a jet fighter. Anyway.
Yeah. That's in my head. That's what I see. But anyway, so I want to talk about, not going solo. I think one of the things you said when we were on Phil Gerbishak's podcast was he said, give sellers a piece of advice. And you said, don't go it alone, ask for help. Yeah. And so I want to talk about the 5 types of people that I like to keep in my tribe. And, you need this. This is your support group. This is, you have a board of directors, right? And this is similar to that, but it's really helpful to bounce stuff off of, to help when you're having a crisis of confidence, that kind of stuff. So that's what I want to talk about today.
I love it. Let's do it. Let's talk about the 5 people in your tribe, and then maybe the one person in our tribe that I desperately need will get the bat signal and will actually join us, which would be super freaking cool.
Exactly. Okay, so there's a saying, it's your tribe is your vibe. So as a seller or a business owner or someone, even if you're trying to, move up in your career, I think that these are all good people. So the first person I think that everyone has to have in their tribe is someone who loves you unconditionally. Like, my mom, bless her heart, still thinks I could be the next Diane Sawyer if I really wanted to, and would support me no matter what.
I can kind of see that though. I think she might be right. I can see that.
Yeah, she's always believed that. No matter what I do, she always believes that, I could do it. It'd be great. Awesome. It's the person that thinks that your crayon art was the best, right?
Yeah, I have to give it to my dad. I mean, mom was too, but she's not around anymore, but I still got dad. Dad's my tribe. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a big deal, right?
Yeah. So it could be your spouse. It could be, your childhood friend or your mom. So that's the first person, someone who loves you unconditionally. If you're the person who, if you're struggling and no matter what, they're going to say, you can do it, you can get to the finish line.
Even like if you were like the guy at the top of the tower and you opened fire on all the people in the courtyard, mom would be like, but she could be the next Diane Sawyer though.
Parents, mothers especially, have that blind love, and that's good. Okay, so here is the next person, and we'll probably spend more time on this.
Yeah.
That it's people who scare the crap out of you.
Oh yeah.
Someone in your tribe who does things and pushes you to do things that scare the shit out of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
For many people, that's public speaking, or it's like I have a friend who we snuck into a wedding together. I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna crash a wedding, and she's like, yeah, let's do it. So because here's what I figured out: when your status quo is temporary and only defined by the parameters that you accept.
Yeah.
And so when you have a friend in your tribe who pushes you outside of that box, who helps you stretch, the parameters of physical comfort, emotional or mental comfort, you realize that you can reset the boundaries of your status quo.
That's so true. So who's yours?
Oh, I need one right now. There's some women in WSP that sort of push me a little bit. Lisa Magnuson, if she's watching, she pushes me a little bit to think harder and do more. And actually she's actually down here she's a different number here, but yeah, right now I don't have someone who pushes me on my comfort zone. So I need that person in my tribe. I'm usually that person for most of my friends. Someone who stretches you in all facets of your life and help you drive for personal growth. Who's yours?
Well, I need one too, but the Kelly Judon, and I'm going to make sure she watches this. She was this phenomenal woman. When I owned my investment advisory firm, I co-owned it. She was a real estate agent who had just, I mean, she destroyed every stereotype about how, you're supposed to be. She's a couple years older than I am. She had a couple kids. She's a single mom, and she just blew the roof off of her numbers all the time. She was a phenomenal real estate agent because she actually like ensured that when you're moving into your house, she was harder on inspections than the other people were. Like she would figure out ways to block sales because she was absolutely committed that if you were like extraordinary, right? Always come back to her to upgrade their, are we okay on connection? Okay. But she'd be like, I feel like I need a pink Ferrari. So she'd go out and buy like a little 2-seater. And then she's like, you know what? I really want to move to Hawaii. So then she moved to Hawaii and I really want to pick up kite surfing. So she, she's just this person. And she would always be pushing me, she would just walk in the restaurants and talk to people. And I mean, I do that now because I really started to enjoy it, but I was so uncomfortable. And she's like, Diana, you have no idea who you are. And she's like, you got to go ask for this in business. You got to go, and I loved it. I absolutely love it. But I need somebody like that who's, behind me, like, cause you're right. We get comfortable and we get complacent. We do.
Yeah. You can be comfortable or you can be courageous, but not often both the same.
All right. So we've got 2 weeks to find our person in our tribe that we're going to have push us out of our comfort zones.
Yeah. That's a good one. And here's the thing about having a tribe of people.
Yeah.
Is that, girls in particular do this. I know going back to my childhood, watching my daughter, is that they tend to pair off, instead of boys will play in groups and, people go in and out of their group, but girls tend to pair off and sort of like, oh, well, now I'm friends with you. And now we're best friends. Remember the best friend necklaces? Shit, people are breaking up, giving those all over the place growing up. Right? And so now one person doesn't usually fit all those things that somebody needs, right?
Right.
So I think that's why that was part of the premise of creating this idea of 5 people to put in my tribe. I have a couple folks that fit this stretching bill. I'm in a group right now, a fitness group, and there's one woman and she really pushes me. She's like, I ran 3 miles today and I was about to stop. And she's like, I realized I could do better. And so she kind of helps push me and inspire me to do more, but really not, I need someone to help me push me out of my physical comfort zone. But I am doing things out of my physical comfort zone, playing volleyball, playing up in the Spiker League. Oh
yeah. How'd you do? Are you battered and bruised?
Not so much. Not so much. I still have one bruise wearing off, but we won last Thursday. There wasn't a very good team that we played against, but that was a good way to start for us.
Yeah.
We have another game tonight, which is good. But these folks played in college. I don't know if you've seen people approach the net and spike like a mofo. But
that's pretty intense.
It is. Like, I don't want to get blasted in the face here, but I'm going to throw myself at it anyway. I'm going to dig it out. So I am doing things that are physically outside my comfort zone and challenging myself, but still I always want to be stretched. So we have 2 weeks. We're going to find someone to fit this bill.
I know who I would ask. I'm going to actually ask him. He'll probably say no, but I'll start by asking him. He'd be perfect. Oh my God. Anyway, I'll tell his name if he says yes. Yeah.
You know who I bet would be great for this, because this is the type of person he is Richard Branson.
You are such a weird mind reader. I mean, I think he wasn't the guy that I'm going to ask, but I have something about Richard Branson that I'm bringing as show and tell next week that's going to blow your mind. But
really?
Anyway.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But he's just, the way he's lived his life, and if you read interviews about him, he really is someone who stretches especially his physical comfort zone.
Do you think he's pushing anybody else?
Oh, kind of like everyone around him. I'll bet he pushes everyone around him. Yeah.
Oh man, I need to learn that quality. It's so good. We could have a whole show about this one particular quality of, pushing yourself. But so who I'm thinking of Dan Waldschmidt.
Okay.
You know that guy?
I don't know Dan Wolf.
He's hilarious. Executives want to work with him, right, to get to the next level, like CEOs and stuff. And he says, great. He says, so as soon as you run 20 miles in a row, I'll work with you.
Okay.
Because he's a big runner, right? I mean, he runs like 150-mile races. Like the guy's out of his mind insane, right? And he's such a great guy. But he
20 days to do it.
Well, he's like, first of all, whatever it takes to get you to run 20 miles in a row, you might not even need me after that.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Anyway.
Right. So that was person number 2. First person, someone who loves you unconditionally. Second one is someone who scares the shit out of you and pushes you. And we're going to get that nailed down for us. And then the third person is someone who really, really, really understands the business that you're in. Whether it's, someone in your company, someone who understands the industry, someone who's been in the industry for a long time, or someone who's been at your company for a long time, whatever your goals are to be better. If you're in sales, it could be someone who's really killing it, or it could be someone who understands the product or your customer's industry. But building connections with people who are just completely immersed and have the experience and the historical, all that tribal knowledge of your industry, that will accelerate your learning curve. So, I mean, for me, that has been, that was one of my mantras for starting the selling agency, learn harder. I'm going to go learn from people who are doing this stuff day in, day out, coaching people and changing the face of what sales looks like. And so a lot of that for me is the Women Sales Pros tribe.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, my board of directors, as I think about it, they know my business inside and out, and they've built successful businesses, but I would be really interested to find somebody who's doing sort of hired gun sales like I do, because there's, this looks like a brand new model to me, and I bet it's not.
Right.
That's hilarious. We all think we're so unique and one of a kind, but that's interesting. I may actually start finding that person, because there's some places where I think my business could grow, but I'm like stuck with how do you scale it. So that's cool.
Yeah. There's I think that we may have some of these folks in our periphery, but we don't set up the time to have meaningful conversations with them, or to really soak up and learn from them. And that's again, so this is the difference between intentional and intuitive. Intuitively, I've gravitated towards these different groups of people and these different people, but intentionally, I need to make time to learn from them and let them know that I want to learn from them too. So that, the person in the industry, if you're in sales, like I said, it could be your sales director. It could be the director of operations, someone who knows this industry inside out, upside down, backwards. It could be, one of your customers. If you are in a vertical, it could be one of your customers that has incredible knowledge that they could share with you.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah. And I love what you said about being in your periphery, because, what's so fascinating to me is anytime I get really clear about what I want, somehow it shows up. But I bet you $1 million it was just always there. I wasn't in the mindset or whatever. I just wasn't ready to, I didn't see it because I wasn't thinking about it. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Getting clear and intentional about what you really, really want next is so cool and so hard.
It is, because you have to speak it out loud. Like you have to tell people. Once you say something out loud, once you write it down, it commits it. And so if you can't commit it to another person, maybe, what's holding you back. So in sales, if you want to be the top salesperson, if you want to make the trip, if you want to grow, you want to grow your portfolio by 25%, what's it going to take to get there? Can you say it out loud? Can you find these people in your tribe to help you get there? Yeah. Well,
and I think you got to know, the Simon Sinek or whatever, but I think you really got to know why. And I don't mean that just as a fluffy thing, because a lot of times we'll say, I want to be a millionaire. Well, why? I mean, really, like, are you like, I'm going to be a millionaire no matter what? Or are you just sort of like, you want to? And so I think you really have to be sort of like, understand in yourselves why you want that thing.
Yes. Yeah. That leads into one of these other ones too. So, number 4 and 5 are kind of similar. So here's the number 4 person. And the reason I break all these people up is you could have several people in your life who accomplish multiple points here, but often not everybody is. So this is one. I'm this for a lot of my sellers. You need someone in your life who completely calls you out on your BS.
Yeah.
Especially when you are making excuses or playing small. You know, if you're like, oh, well, I think I'm just going to go for this. Really? That seems kind of like you could do better. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have done that myself. You know, if I approach something that's scary, sometimes I'll like back off and like, oh, well, maybe I don't need to do this. And, you know, you need someone who can call you on your BS. The voice, you know, the voice that becomes the voice in your head.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So do you have a person who calls you on your BS?
Actually, for the last 14 years, once a week, I've met with one woman. There's always 3 or 4 of us in this group, but there's 2 of us that have been the core of it for these 14 years. We call ourselves the Power Pack. And we have a half-hour call every week. And it's all about, we make promises to each other. We make 3 promises in areas of our life that we're trying to move forward that are important. And then we complete on the promises every week. We're like, are you complete or not complete? And if you try to get the same goal or the same promise and you don't meet it twice, you totally call bullshit. Or if you make a little teensy stupid promise, it's like, yeah, I don't actually think so. This is the Power Pack, my friends. So for 14 years, we've been doing that. And it's, it's very cool.
That's cool. Well, so for this type of person, what I've really found is that it is a high level of trust and transparency that goes, and it often goes back and forth, you know? So like, and also like you've been with this group for 14 years, it doesn't really develop overnight. So if there's someone who calls you on your bullshit and they're just an asshole, and that's not a trust, it's not a trusting relationship. So find someone in your tribe who can call you on your BS. Yeah. And especially, and when you're struggling, really, you know, hold your feet to the fire and help you understand that, you know what, you're not going to get what you want. If this is what you want, because you have to be really transparent about what you want, say those things out loud. If this is what you want, if this is your goal, you're not going to get it doing this. You're not going to get it that way. Mm-mm.
Yeah, or sometimes, you know, what's really cool about that group too is you'll be thinking that going in this particular direction is going to get you where you want to go, and they'll come in and say, well, did you ever think about this? Like maybe, and you're like, oh my God, that's such a better solution, you know, like, but they really got to have your back, and absolutely the trust. I mean, we tell each other everything, and yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a really important one to have, though, especially if you're a solopreneur or a salesperson, because even if you're a salesperson, you're still kind of out there on your own. I mean, if you're a salesperson, you're the CEO of your own territory, your own company, your own whatever you own. So yeah, it's a very important group to have. Mm-hmm. So have you got one?
You know, like I said, Lynn Heidi kind of does this for me. She may not know it, or maybe I'm not even voiced this to her, but Lynn Heidi and Bernadette McClellan see right through me. They have this really scary ability to see right through me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't it so weird how you and I have these conversations and they just are, everything like jives up. Lynn Heidi, I had no idea she was like that for you. That's so cool.
Yeah. We went to dinner, I think, in Boston, and like, she's just very, very perceptive and intuitive, and she sees right through me. And Bernadette's the same way. Bernadette is probably more the person who will call me on my BS, and yeah, Lynn too. But yeah, it's good to have those people in your tribe, because if you're struggling with something, take it to them and they will serve it up and tell you what's what.
Yeah. It's good.
And then you reciprocate, you know, be that sounding board, and be someone who can be strong enough to tell someone that this is not their best work, that this is, you know, not their best work, or I think you're playing it safe, and what would it mean for you to really go after this the way you say you want to go after this?
Oh man, just gets the heart pounding, doesn't it?
It does.
Palms sweating.
Yeah, because I mean, you know,
what are we so afraid of? I mean, do you know we're gonna like die? I'm gonna be 90. I'm gonna be laying on my deathbed. I'm like, why didn't I make that call?
Exactly. What are we so afraid of? I mean, rejection is temporary. It's a temporary state. People aren't rejecting you. They're rejecting your call. They're rejecting your offer. I mean, it's just a temporary state, and there's no reason to stay there.
Plus, I bet you burn more calories every time you get those juices going like that.
Yes, they are. Okay. So that's paramount for personal growth. Someone calls you on your BS. The last person in your tribe is people who are pragmatic, rational, and give really, really good advice. Now, so I have a note on this. These tribe members, they're not the opposite of dreamers and innovators exactly. And they're certainly not Debbie Downers. Clearly avoid Debbie Downers, right? No. Yeah.
Seriously, you have no time for that.
Yeah, but they're people who will give you unbiased feedback, and it's like pulling a compass out of your backpack so you don't get lost in the woods. It's people who just are really wise, and this is Lisa Magnuson does this for me. She is, she's very wise. She's been there, she's done that. We don't have the same business models, but she will, I'm talking about pivoting or talking about scaling with her, and she's like, but you know what? If you do this, then you get this, and just very very pragmatic about the advice she gives. And it's wonderful. And I have learned so much and taken so much from her. And she also keeps me on track on my book and stuff too. So Lisa Magnuson does that for me. What about you for you? Someone who
Well, that's my aunt.
Really good advice. That's your aunt?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just brilliant, wise. She totally, she moves everything forward with it. She's like that. It has been my entire life. But what's so interesting, Sean, every single I haven't met your mother, so this might not be true of her, but every single person that you mentioned in every single one of those is at their core kind.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think you just attract really kind people. I don't know where you found me. I'm not that kind. No, I'm just kidding. But
your face.
But what you started with, which I thought was completely kind of woo-woo and weird, but I'm from Boulder, so I can handle a lot of it. But your tribe is your vibe. But and I'm not going to put that on any t-shirt anytime soon, but I think that you kind of attract those people to you. That's really cool. That's really
thank
cool.
you. Well, I think the same. I had no idea you had a group that you've been with for 14 years. I mean,
oh yeah, but we're all damaged. Like we're all like at our very core, like somehow damaged humans. No, well, maybe. Anyway.
Well, I think it takes a lot of courage to ask for help and I will give you, this is one of my favorite stories. So my, one of my very nearest and dearest, bestest friends in the world, she is my soul sister. And when our husbands both die, because men are going to die before the women, when both of our husbands die, we're going to become late in life lesbians and just live it together and cook and shop. And that's Laura Lee. That's my friend Laura Lee. She's from Jackson, Mississippi, so she's a two-namer, Laura Lee. Yeah. She was my Southern Yoda. Really, really helped me understand Southern cursing, Southern euphemism, Southern expressions. I asked her one time, like, Laura Lee, why do Southern women monogram everything? And she goes, well, it's like the way we mark our territory. Instead of peeing on shit, we put our names on it. It's like, oh, okay. I get it.
I wish I had a Southern Yoda. That might be the sixth thing that you need.
Well, so here's how we met and became fast friends. So she is about 4 years younger than me, which she would gladly tell you. And so when we were working at I was working at the TV station, and there were two stations. It was an ABC affiliate and a UPN affiliate. And she just got hired straight out of college, straight out of Ole Miss, to work at the UPN station, which is now CW whatever. And so we sold advertising. So one of the first, we're on two different sides of the office. And so I didn't really know her much or whatever, but one of the first encounters we had, what made her cry, she was over on our side of the files, digging through the files. And I just came up to her and said, what are you doing? And she said, well, there's an account over on your station that I want to call on. And so I was looking through the file to try to find the contact information. I said, well, she says, well, you clapped your hands, really condescending, and said, well, that's not how things are done. You don't go looking through our files. And so I don't even remember this conversation, but she said she went to her car and cried.
Oh, wow.
But then I don't know how much longer later it was. I was in my cubicle, and she walked up to my cube and she said, hey, Sean, you are always really well put together and dressed so beautifully. I like your style. and I've been wearing jeans, a t-shirt, and chapstick for the past 4 years. Could you tell me where you shop? I was like, girl, come with me.
Oh, fast friends.
Yeah, but she asked for help, and I know that especially later, she told me about how I was terrible in our first encounter. That took a lot of courage and guts. And so we've been fast friends since, but I admired that very much. And she's actually one of the people in my life that has role modeled asking for help. She connected me with my therapist. It's all the best doctors I have are from Laura Lee, and she's just not afraid to take care of herself and to ask for help. So that's another good person in your life.
Don't be afraid to take care of yourself and ask for help. And I'm going to go take my own advice. All right. How are we doing on time? Can we try Ms. Lynn Heidi one more time?
She texted me back and she said, unfortunately, I'm doing a training. So she is out of packato.
All right.
We're going to get her again. I will.
So not every surprise guest segment works.
No. Hey, guess what? You got to have a backup. Right?
And well, I had you, so that was really good because you had something to talk about.
And guess what? We're going to try her again, right? Like that's sales. It doesn't work this time. Let's call it that time.
Exactly. It's not a no forever. It's just a no for now. I want to add one person to your tribe. I really think that you also need to have somebody that you're bringing along.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Some kind of mentee or some kind of person that you're, bringing along.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. I think that this is, as much as you get, you really having these relationships, especially if they're two-way, you give a lot too. So you definitely having someone that needs your help is a good way to give back and keep you centered too.
Yeah.
I'll add another person. I think this is an off the books unofficial member of your tribe. You need someone who would go into a street fight with you. Like I'm on. Let's do it.
You're taking off your jewelry. Oh my God. Oh, you truly do know how to go into a street fight. Oh my God, it's so true. What's the joke? Friends will help you move. Good friends will help you move bodies.
Yeah, exactly.
You need someone who's going into the street fight with you. Oh my God, Barbara Weaver Smith is that person for me.
Is she?
Oh, she would, yeah. And you'd be going down too. If Barbara gets in the fight, oh my God, she is the truth.
I love that, Babs. Okay.
She is the truth.
Yeah. In high school, my husband had a friend. She was a female friend, just friend. And they were at a party and she just loved her some Mike Sandy. And someone insulted my husband and she came up and just cold got this girl. And it was after they're 18. And so I think she went to jail for it.
Oh my God. How long do you go to jail for when you clock Mike Sandy?
No, she didn't hit my husband. The girl hit the other girl.
No, right. Oh, how long do you go to jail for when you protect Mike Sandy?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it was like a misdemeanor assault battery. I don't know. But obviously she was just one of those people who's like always ready for a fight.
Oh my God.
Those people probably aren't bad to have in your corner depending on who you hang out with.
Oh man, I've got one. A real, like Barbara Weaver Smith wouldn't physically go for you, but there is the woman that we've talked about before, the mixed martial arts, who can do push-ups from a handstand, which you probably can too, because I've seen you do a handstand. But yeah, she's the girl that you want on your side for sure, because the bitch is going down.
I'm not afraid to cut a bitch. No.
Yeah. Anyway, oh my God, I got to get a boxing bag or something. Yeah, this is the week. We're gonna push ourselves this week.
We're gonna push ourselves. Get outside your comfort zone.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna need to find that person who scares the crap out of me. It's gonna be hard because there's not a lot physically that I'm terribly afraid to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, emotionally, mentally, I'm gonna figure out who that person is. So, well, they say most people's biggest fear is public speaking. Have you heard this? So like, if 99 out of 100 people's biggest fear is public speaking, that means that if you're at a relatively sizable funeral, most people would rather be in the casket than giving the eulogy.
That's Jerry Seinfeld.
Is that Jerry Seinfeld? Not me. I see a microphone. It's like a heat-seeking missile. How can I get in the microphone?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, I don't get it. I was not blessed with that particular fear.
No.
I'll get up in front of anybody and talk to y'all and hope it goes well.
Yeah. Well, you know what I want to say too, is that I'm naturally a pusher. And I think that lends itself really well to coaching, especially in training, the advice, that kind of stuff. I fulfill a lot of those roles for my clients and for my sellers. And so if you're watching and you need to be pushed, you need to reach out to the two of us. You know, I just for the occasional foot in the ass or the pep talk or the foot in the ass pep talk, reach out to us. That'll be, here's our call to action and our challenge to you.
Yeah.
What do you need to be pushed on? You know,
what do you need to be pushed on?
To be difficult? What are you hesitant about? What are you playing small at?
What are you playing small at?
I think that's one of the saddest things in life, is to see people with such magnificent potential, because we all have it, and they're playing small. They're playing small, and they're living a small life. And that doesn't mean that we all have to be millionaires and fly around in private jets. It just means that, man, you leave nothing on the dance floor.
Leave nothing on the dance floor, or leave it all on the dance floor. Or
you leave it all on the dance.
I don't know.
You would leave it all on the dance floor.
Leave it all on the court. I don't know. Get on the court. You know, get on the court. We're mostly watching. Start a YouTube channel. Find us. Tweet us.
Love us. Subscribe.
All right. I think we've beaten this one to a dead pulp.
I agree.
Okay, so your tribe is your vibe, and I will kick us out by saying stop hoping
and start selling.
Bye.
Bye.